Good morning, dear students. We are going to start today the third lecture regarding rotational dynamics. I also delivered two lectures regarding rotational dynamics. In rotational dynamics 1, we have learned the definition of circular motion, radius vector, angular displacement, angular velocity, instantaneous angular displacement, instantaneous angular velocity, instantaneous angular acceleration. Their SI units, formulae, dimension, that all things we have learned in the first lecture, rotational dynamics 1, dear student. Those students have not listened yet, subscribe my channel. Name of my channel is Physics Make It Simple by Dr. Rajendra Kobarne. So in the second lecture, we have seen the most important article, how we show the direction of angular displacement, angular velocity, angular acceleration, in which condition angular acceleration is upward, in which condition angular acceleration is downward. That all things we have seen in the second lecture by drawing some vector diagrams and by showing the directions typically of delta theta, omega vector, delta theta vector and alpha vector. Then we learn characteristics of circular motion. Then we learn explanation of uniform circular motion pointwise, explanation of non-uniform circular motion, that we also learn pointwise. And because of explaining the uniform circular motion and non-uniform circular motion pointwise, we can easily able to distinguish between uniform circular motion and non-uniform circular motion, how it is. So see the video number 2, dynamics, rotational dynamics second. And for that purpose, subscribe my channel. Name of my channel is Physics Make It Simple by Dr. Rajendra Kobarne. So today we are discussing about only two articles. The first article is dynamics of circular motion. In dynamics of circular motion, we have to learn what is meant by centripetal force and what is centrifugal force, and then application of circular motion. In application of circular motion, we learn only one application today, that is how the vehicle is turning along a horizontal curved road. So before starting directly, dear guys, dear students, we have to learn some basic concept regarding centripetal force and centrifugal force. And what are that basic concept that I have already written on the board? What is that? So you should know what is meant by inertial frame of reference, non-inertial frame of reference, what is real force, what is pseudo force, what is normal reaction, pyare bachcho, and what is the direction of the weight of the body. Unless and until we can't understand centripetal force and centrifugal force, so listen it carefully, observe it carefully, and then we'll go our main article, that I have already written on the board, that is rotational dynamics 3. And in rotational dynamics 3, our article is dynamics of circular motion. Dynamics of circular motion. So what is inertial frame of reference? I am delivering a lecture in front of you. So this hall is also called as inertial frame of reference. This hall has 3 axes, y axis, this is x axis suppose, and this is z axis, whatever it may be, or this is z axis, this is x axis, this is y axis, that axis is like this, that frame is having an axis like this. And suppose I am standing here like this. Himself is standing in the frame of reference. Suppose this frame of reference is at rest. So I follow inertia unless and until any external force is acting on me. If I am at rest, then it will remain rest. But if any external force is acting on me, this is the external force, then and then only I am in motion. So this is possible if and only if that particular frame is in rest or is in uniform motion. If the train is in uniform motion, then the passengers which are seated in the train have no any external force, it remains as it is. Or if the train is at rest, then also it remains as it is. But suppose, imagine the train is suddenly stopped, then jerk is experienced over the passenger and the passenger toppled down on the forward direction. Or the speed of the train is suddenly increases, then jerk is acting on the passenger and it toppled down in the backward direction. So that frame becomes accelerated frame because of acceleration. Such a frame is called as non-inertial frame of reference. So in inertial frame of reference, all the Newton's laws of motion are obeyed. For every action there is equal but opposite reaction. F is equal to ma. This is Newton's second law. Newton's first law is law of inertia. All that laws are followed or satisfied in the frame of reference is called as non-inertial frame of reference, dear student, and is called as it is called as inertial frame of reference. Is called as inertial frame of reference. And in non-inertial frame of reference, acceleration is exist due to change in velocity. The frame of reference becomes non-inertial. Newton's laws of motion is not satisfied, not applicable in such a frame of reference. Such a frame of reference is called as non-inertial frame of reference. So in non-inertial frame of reference, a frame of reference in which the frame is accelerated, and because of having the acceleration, a hidden force is acting on the body. Such a frame is called as non-inertial frame of reference. What is real force? Real force has some physical existence. In an atom, electron is revolving around the nucleus. Because of having electrostatic force of attraction between positively charged nucleus and negatively charged electrons. So this electrostatic force of attraction between nucleus and electron, due to which the electron is revolving. So this force is real force. Vehicle is running over the road because of having frictional force between road and tire. This frictional force is called as real force. It has some physical existence. Earth is revolving around the sun or rotating around the sun due to gravitational force of attraction between sun and earth. This gravitational force of attraction is called as real force. So real force is due to interactions between two bodies. Interactions. Such a force we call it as real force. Pseudo force, that I have already explained at the time of explaining the non-inertial frame of reference. In non-inertial frame of reference, acceleration is the quantity which is born. And because of having acceleration, passenger topple down in the forward direction, passenger topple down in the backward direction because of increasing the velocity suddenly. Because of decreasing the velocity suddenly, or because of increasing the velocity suddenly. So which is the factor in which, by means of which the passenger topple down forward or backward? That factor is called as pseudo force. It has no any real existence, dear student. So this is called as pseudo force. What is normal reaction? Normal reaction. Suppose this is a car and ऐसा मैंने झंडा लगाया है इधर. ये जो झंडा है ना कार का, कार के ऊपर के सरफेस पर लगाया हुआ, this is always perpendicular to the surface of a car. It doesn't mean that it is always in vertically upward. If the car is inclined like this, then normal reaction is like this. If the car is inclined like this, normal reaction is like this. If the car is inclined like this, the normal reaction is like this, dear student. So remember well, normal reaction is always perpendicular to the surface of a body. This is the most important sentence you quote in your notebook, dear student. Then and then only it is quite easy to understand next articles. What is the direction of the weight of the body? Mind where direction of the weight of the body is always acting vertically downward, exactly vertically downward. Though the body becomes like this, weight is like this. Though the body becomes like this, weight is acting vertically like this. So weight of the body is acting vertically downward. So instead of after learning all this, what is meant by inertial frame of reference, non-inertial frame of reference, what is real force? Real force is due to the interaction between two bodies. That is real force. Gravitational force, nuclear force, frictional force. Such a force is called as real force. Pseudo force. Pseudo force is generated at the time of acceleration in the frame. It has no any real existence. It has no any real existence. So it is called as pseudo force. It is non-real force. Normal reaction, that concept also we have learned. Normal reaction is always perpendicular to the surface of a car, surface of a body, and direction of the weight of the body is always acting vertically downward. Okay, so instead of discussing more and more, we will approach our main article, dear students, and that article is what? Dynamics of circular motion. Okay, let us clean the board at first. And in dynamics of circular motion, now we have to learn what? Centripetal force. I will write here. The first article is centripetal force. Centripetal force. The centripetal force I will denote is like this: Cp. Cp, centripetal, and force. I will write this in magnitude form. In vector form it is right like this. This is a vector form, centripetal force. So instead of writing the definition at first, I will write it in point form. So our first point, I will draw a diagram. So how the diagram will draw? Suppose this is a circle like this. This is a circle. See here, this is the center. This is what? Centripetal force. I will write in vector form like this. This is radius of a circle, and this is the direction of centripetal force. Direction of the centripetal force is towards the center, and this is the direction of the circular motion like this. Dear students, observe the diagram at first. Observe the diagram. See the diagram carefully, dear student. This is the direction of centripetal force denoted by red arrows. This is radius, not radius vector I drawn here, only radius of a circle. And this arrow indicates the particle is moving in anti-clockwise direction, dear student. So how we can prepare a definition? So our next point is that number 2, definition. So force acting on the particle which is directed towards the center. See here, arrow is directed towards the center. So force acting on the particle which is directed towards the center along the radius so as to produce circular motion is called as centripetal force. I will repeat again. Force acting on the particle towards the center along the radius so as to produce circular motion is called as centripetal force. Okay, then third point is formula. In magnitude form. So what is the formula in magnitude form? So we can write like this: F Cp is equal to mass into acceleration. Mass into what is centripetal acceleration? So this is centripetal acceleration, mv square upon r. If we put the value of v, then we get v is equal to r omega, that we know. So we can write here what? M r omega square. This is the formula of centripetal force in magnitude form. So how we can write the formula of centripetal force in vector form? So our fourth point is like this. Fourth point, in vector form. In vector form. So I will write in vector form. So I will give arrow over the head of F. So FCP is equal to what? M, I will write minus sign here. mv square upon r into r cap is equal to minus m omega square into r vector. This r is converted into radius vector. This is radius only. This is converted into radius vector. Then question arises, what is the meaning of negative sign? So this is the formula of centripetal forms in vector form. This is the vector representation of centripetal force. So negative sign indicates that direction of the radius vector that we have learned in the first article, direction of the radius vector is away from the center and direction of the centripetal force is towards the center. So centripetal force and radius vector are oppositely directed. Centripetal force is directed towards the center and direction of the radius vector is away from the center. So this is the meaning of negative sign. So what is our fifth point? It is responsible. It is responsible. It is responsible for circular motion. सेंट्रीपेटल फोर्स के सिवा सर्कुलर मोशन नहीं हो सकता. For the circular motion, centripetal force is necessary, dear student, and so that it is responsible, and so that it is a cause of circular motion. It is a cause of circular motion. So this is our sixth point. It is a cause of circular motion. Cause of circular motion. Seventh point, it is a real force. It is a real force. That I have already discussed before learning this article. What is real force? Real force means interaction between two bodies, electrostatic force of attraction between nucleus and electron. That electrostatic force of attraction is acting as a role of centripetal force, so that electron is revolving around the nucleus in atom. Gravitational force between sun and earth, and so that earth is rotating around the sun. So that all forces are real forces, and so that all forces are acting as a role of centripetal force, and so that centripetal force is a real force. It is a real force. Number 8, it arises in the non-inertial frame of reference. It arises in the inertial frame of reference. It arises in the inertial frame of reference. What is meant by inertial frame of reference? So that I have explained earlier, because we will have to use that concept here while explaining the centripetal force and centrifugal force, dear guys. So it arises in the inertial frame of reference. It is a real force. It is also called as radial force. Radial force. Why we call it as radial force? Because it is acting along the radius. It is acting along the radius. So we call it as radial force. So centripetal force is real force and radial force. And then our 9th point is examples. So when the question is asked, explain centripetal force, then instead of writing the explanation, we write that explanation point wise, so that our physics make very simple, and itself I have given the name of my YouTube channel is Physics Make It Simple by Dr. Rajendra Kobane. So subscribe it at first. Then your physics you learn more in a simplest form. That is my humble request to you. So see here. So we will learn this. We have already learned this in point form. Draw the diagram. Write down the definition from the diagram. This is the formula in magnitude form. This is the formula in vector form. It is responsible for circular motion. It is a cause of circular motion. It is a real force and radial force. It arises in the inertial frame of reference. And examples that I have already told. I will repeat again that examples. In an atom, electron is revolving around the nucleus. Due to what? Due to electrostatic force of attraction between positively charged nucleus and negatively charged electrons. That electrostatic force of attraction is acting as a role of centripetal force, dear student. Rotation of the earth round the sun. This is possible due to the gravitational force between sun and earth. This gravitational force is acting as a role of centripetal force. Suppose the stone is tied to the one end of the string and one end of the string is in my hand and I rotate that string like this. Then tension is acting on the string. Tension is created. That tension acting on the string is behave as a role of centripetal force, and so that particular stone is circulating in a horizontal plane. So this is all about the examples of centripetal force. So instead of write in a essay form, write that concept of centripetal force in point form, dear guys. And if we well understood centripetal force, then it is quite easy to understand the next article, centrifugal force. So I will write here centrifugal force. Centrifugal force. Centrifugal force is denoted by like this, CF, centrifugal force. Centrifugal force like this, centrifugal force, arrow over the head. So direction of the arrow is outside like this. See here, this is the diagram of centrifugal force. So at the time of circular motion, the creation of another force is there. We call it as centrifugal force. So this is the diagram. So now prepare a definition. A force which is acting away from the center along the radius during the circular motion, because centrifugal force is not produced the circular motion. Centrifugal force is created at the time of circular motion. Most important sentence, dear guys. You should note this. Centrifugal force not produce circular motion. So centrifugal force is not responsible to produce circular motion. At the time of circular motion, centrifugal force is created, appeared, which is away from the center along the radius during the circular motion. So what is the definition of centripetal force? A force which is acting towards the center along the radius so as to produce circular motion. Okay, then come to our original point here. What is the definition of centrifugal force? A force acting away from the center. Force acting away from the center, along the radius during the circular motion is called as centrifugal force. Formula in magnitude form is same. So formula of centrifugal force, I will write here F CF is equal to mv square upon r is equal to mr omega square. Then in vector form, positive sign comes here, no negative sign, because direction of the force and direction of the radius vector is along the same direction. Both are along the same direction, outward. So no negative sign come here. So this is the vector form. In centripetal force, we have written it is responsible for circular motion. So here it is not responsible. It is not responsible. It is not responsible for circular motion. In that case, we have written it is a cause of circular motion. Here we write what? Erase this cause, and it is right here. It is a effect of circular motion. Due to circular motion, during the circular motion, another non-real force is created. We call it a pseudo force. It is a effect. It is not cause. So it is a effect of circular motion. It is not a real force. It is not a real force. And it is also radial force because it is along the radius. So it is not real force and radial force. It arises in the non-inertial frame of reference. Non-inertial frame of reference. And then examples of centrifugal force. What are the examples of centrifugal force? The most important examples that you will have to learn now, it is quoted in your textbook, that is merry-go-round. 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 It is a playing toy of children, or mostly some elders are also enjoy with this merry-go-round. Merry-go-round ये क्या होता है? It consists of some unbreakable strings like this. A circular frame, and on that circular frame some unbreakable strings in all directions like this, and chairs are attached. That persons are sitting on the chair, and that merry-go-round is rotated with the help of electric supply or by applying external force by hand. It starts rotating like this. So at the time of revolution, at the time of circulation, that string stretched in the outward direction and chair becomes like this. They are acting outward. So centripetal force is acting in the outward direction. So this is because of the bending of the string in outward direction during the circular motion is due to the centrifugal force. It is called as pseudo force. It is called as pseudo force. At the time of turning the vehicle on the circular track, there may be a possibility of toppling down the vehicle in the outward direction because of having a production of centrifugal force on the car in the outward direction, and so that the car is skidding, that vehicle is skidding in the outward direction. So these are some examples of centrifugal force. So study the centripetal force and centrifugal force in point forms that I have written on the board, and unless and until you write this in point form, you are not able to distinguish centripetal force and centrifugal force. If and only if that article we learned in a point form like this, then it is quite make easy to distinguish between centripetal force and centrifugal force. So dear students, this is for your homework. Write down the question. Distinguish between centripetal force and centrifugal force with the help of this explanation. Okay, then we'll go The next article is, let me clean the board at first. And our next article is application of circular motion. Application of circular motion. Vehicle is along a horizontal curved road like this. This is a vehicle. This is the back side of the vehicle. Suppose these are the two wheels that are only seen. Normal reaction is always perpendicular to the top surface of the vehicle. And this is the weight of the vehicle. Weight of the vehicle is denoted by mg. This is the origin of a circular track, and that circular track is like this. Suppose this is a circular track. Along that circular track the vehicle is moving like this. So this is a radius of curve like this. This is the radius of curve like this up to this. So this is our diagram. Vehicle is like this here. This is a normal reaction, and the vehicle is turning like this on a horizontal curved track. So this is the center O, and the vehicle is turning like this. Okay, imagine, dear student, and come this picture and observe this picture on the board now. So this is the vehicle. These two length of these two arrows should be equal, dear student. Mind well, remember well. Length of these two arrows should be equal. This is normal reaction, this is weight of the vehicle, and radius of curvature of the circular track is r. So from the diagram we can write it what? This normal reaction and weight are exactly balanced with each other. So we can write first formula, capital N is equal to W is equal to mg. This is our first formula. Okay, this vehicle is moving along a circular curved road is due to the force of friction and coefficient of static friction. This force of friction is denoted by Fs, which is equal to what? Mu s into n. That is the formula that we have taken, that formula from the laws of static friction. Fs is nothing but the force of static friction. So there is a static friction between road and tire. This Fs is equal to mu s into n. Okay, Fs is equal to mu s into n. Then this Fs is equal to mu s into n. This force of friction is acting like this, which is towards the center of a curved track or circular track. So this force of friction is acting as a centripetal force. So I will take only a magnitude form of centripetal force. So Fs is equal to mv square upon r. So at the time of limiting force of friction, maximum force of friction, when Fs it becomes maximum, then we can able to drive our car in a maximum possible velocity, which we write here mv square max upon r, like this, mv square max upon r. So this is Fs max is equal to mv square max upon r. Then comparing these two, this is what? Fs is equal to mu s into n. Fs is equal to mu s into n, and Fs is equal to mv square upon r. Okay, instead of writing like this, we can write this: Fs is equal to mu s into n, and Fs is equal to mv square upon r, because this force of static friction is acting as a role of centripetal force. So this is our equation 2. This is our equation 3. Comparing 2 and 3, we get what? Mu s into n is equal to what? mv square upon r. Put the value of n here, we'll get what? Mu s is equal to, what is n? N is equal to mg, is equal to what? mv square upon r. This m get cancelled and we get what? V square is equal to mu s into rg. Mu s into rg, or V is equal to square root of mu s into rg. So this is the maximum velocity by means of which that vehicle is moving along a horizontal curved road. The vehicle can safely moving along a horizontal curved road because of a frictional force between road and tire. See here, normal reaction is balanced with the weight of the body, which is equal to mg. So force of friction Fs, from the law of friction we can write formula Fs is equal to mu s into n. Mu s is called as coefficient of static friction. This is equation 2. This force of friction is acting as a role of centripetal force. So formula of centripetal force is mv square upon r. Comparing 2 and 3, we get what? Mu s into n is equal to mv square upon r. M get cancelled here. Mu s into n is equal to mv square upon r. Mu s, put the value of n is equal to mg from this. So we get what? V square is equal to mu s into rg. So V is equal to, take square root, mu s into rg. So this velocity at the time of turning on the circular track depends upon coefficient of static friction and radius vector. So this is all about the application of a circular motion. The vehicle is turning on a horizontal curved track. So listen this lecture again and again, prepare your own note, and we will make physics more simple. For that